Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. It is the Clatter Clan season 25. It's the grand finals. It is day 3, the last day. Who are we going to crown champions? Cartel is in number 1, Pain easily chasing after them. So many other teams putting in that work, but who is going to take the prize home? It is a battle, it is a survival of the fittest, and I'm super excited to see who is going to take it because I know for a fact it's still open season. But whose season is it going to be? All right. So we do have 15 teams in the cut. Not necessarily what I was expecting though, but you already know. Wow. Our bodies already dropping? Our bodies already dropping? Is that what is already happening here? Our bodies already dropping here. Looks like genz are getting active here against Dash from OP Sword over to that eastern side. Scary getting knocked away. Not necessarily what he was expecting, but it is exactly what he got. Oh, and look at that. Bego is in the cut. He's back in the lineup for Ecstasy, and he has started to put that work in, but Gabriel will reconvene. Easy for 7. Unfortunately, not going to be on the lucky end of that one as he gets the drop. Goes back into the lobby. Looks like this is going to be a little bit of a trade-off here, but as well. Yes. Dropped off. Danny Brown going for the clutch, and he does get the clutch. Danny Brown and Bego coming out on top in boot camp. Ecstasy again playing a man short. And now they're 2 men short. But they do make it out with the most points from this engagement. Tactical team, on the other hand, have their hands full with, I believe that is ZEUS Esports over to that hillside, the north up. And they will be making that advance, I believe. I believe it was Faker that did get knocked away. They're not necessarily having to light up, but yes, it was Faker. And that's going to be the end of the journey for him as well. We've already lost Mad Monkeys. Interestingly enough, that was a team that secured a chicken dinner in this grand final. But I ain't never stopped somebody from clapping. I ain't never stopped nobody from clapping you before. You know, chicken dinner or not. Whoever's getting clapped is getting clapped. Well, it looks like Hainan may have a little bit of a different pattern here, because Cartel just got bombed. And I think by ZEUS and a couple of others. Cartel again losing out relatively very early. It's not what I expected to see this early in the game at all. Tactical team, they could use this opportunity to mop things up as Cartel have been eliminated. And funny enough, Cartel always did have some solid Sandhawk games, you know, over the past 2 days. They've had some really good Sandhawk games. The first Sandhawk game, they did finish in the top 2, but they did lose out to Pain. But yesterday's Sandhawk game, they did get the chicken dinner in the first game. Although they didn't necessarily turn up all through like they did on day 1. But again, I still think, you know, they've done just enough. This play zone does put things into a little bit of an interesting perspective, because I think V3 is going to be a little bit of a different game. Because I think V3 is going to be a little bit more aggressive. I think V3 is going to be a little bit more aggressive. I think V3 is going to be a little bit more aggressive. I think V3 is going to be a little bit more aggressive. I think V3 is going to be a little bit more aggressive. I think V3 is going to be a little bit more aggressive. I think V3 is going to be a little bit more aggressive. I think V3 is going to be a little bit more aggressive. I think V3 is going to be a little bit more aggressive. I think V3 is going to be a little bit more aggressive. I think V3 is going to be a little bit more aggressive. I think V3 is going to be a little bit more aggressive. I think V3 is going to be a little bit more aggressive. I think V3 is going to be a little bit more aggressive. I think V3 is going to be a little bit more aggressive. I think V3 is going to be a little bit more aggressive. I think V3 is going to be a little b Did lose one out to Gen Z earlier on. They are still very much in the same vicinity, but I think Tomas has been spotted. I don't think they're gonna breach into the camp. I don't see that happening. I don't think it serves them. They're outnumbered, so okay, so Gen Z did get a drop, but it wasn't on V3. I think it was a combination of V3 and someone else. So that was not there before. Like ZEUS and the tactical team, they're not letting this one slide. They will be taking something out of this one. Dorothy does get knocked away. Stone as well. It looks like it's Ecstasy that are the ones to capitalize on this one as Danny Brown gets the drop. Lucifer on the other side. They did manage out a couple of more eliminations. Fire, but no, out of the frying pan, straight into the frying pan. Regardless, Dorothy as well is gonna be the victim. But I don't think Delu can make it there in time, though. But I do respect the fact that he's committed. But I don't see him making it out of there, though. I don't see him making it all the way there before that reset comes through. But I gotta respect it. Danny Brown on the right-hand side. Yeah. It's gonna be a hard one to do, but it's very, very achievable. Yeah, I don't think they're not gonna make it. They're not gonna make it across without taking. But the pressure will continue to mount against into the smoke. But unfortunately, can't seem to find the wherewithal to get out. Nothing I haven't seen them do before, though. Well, they will hang out here for a bit. Don't necessarily have to move around, but they also have to worry about the hillside. Play zone is closing out relatively very quickly. Neon Rising, on the other hand, not too far-fetched, not too paused out, but they do have Persecuters just hanging around them. I think that's Super Nigga on the other side. I believe he's aware of Neon Rising. Ravage, I think he might want to take 1v1. But Neon Rising, they know better than to fall for the bait. They are in an interesting state though. The grenade was sent just to give a little bit of context and discovery. Floki also pulling up over to the hillside. And Ravage did get exposed there. Floki as well. And Preyboy is actually making the move. And he has decided to pull up into the open space. No more that, he's gonna get knocked away, and that's gonna be good night. Immediately gets flushed. But so does Ravage from 5 more chicks. It's 3 apiece for each team now. More chicks still very much available over to that right hand side. I believe he spotted Floki over to the hill. I'm not sure he has given his position out here, but it could be something very proactive. Super Nigga is already on the move over to that left hand side. Floki as well continues to mark in and lock in regardless. Then he continues to launch the grenade. Oh, he spotted Floki. Sure, Floki is gonna get cooked right now. And Floki gets swept away into the lobby. Corner and beautifully done tactically. They're gonna force the last guy to run away for sure. Preyboy doesn't get caught out. But it's all about bullets and angles now. I believe there's one more player, right? Yeah, there's one more. It's Preyboy, and he's right there. And that's going to be the end. Their crates will be getting shot up. The Unrising come out on top. I mean, they were tactically positioned, so that looked like it was going to work out for them. That looked like it was absolutely going to work out for them. So very tactical, very tactical from Neon Rising. They did lose one. Right? Oh, well, Danny Brown actually stood up. And Bego as well will be sent away by Bendo Baby, but it looks like Gen Z did pull up to that position over to the hillside, and it was occupied. The tactical team took Bego out. I was surprised. I thought they were all the way over here, but they moved all the way back, and then they got sandwiched. Still a decent performance though, based off of the last couple of games from Ecstasy that I have watched. So, you know, playing a man short, then losing a man early, never the best recipe. A lot of top strikers in the region. Top strikers in the area. All looking for a little pound of flesh. But who is going to come out on top though? Again, tactical team, somehow they have survived into almost the final third, and looks like D3 might be running into pain here. Not exactly what I was expecting them to do, but Saint is not going to be so lucky. Wait, is that an invisible character? Yo, that's crazy. Looks like that's not going to work through as well. Alpha is going to be a victim. Out of there. Yeah, you're not making it, dog. You could have just kept on reversing, bro. You could have really just kept on reversing. If you're trying to run away from a scenario like that, you reverse. Once you hit the reverse, just keep reversing, dog. Like, don't turn around. Just keep reversing. You know, turn around when you're far enough, but don't turn around, then, you know, reverse, then spin, then do all that. You know. But I realized something though. This area of this zone has always been in the final third in the past 3 games. It says something. You know, it really says something. This particular game though, this particular map, you know, Camp Alpha in the area. That's why I'm surprised Cartel is dead, because they're usually in this area right now. You know, they're usually in this area. So I don't even know. I don't know how I feel about that. I honestly don't know how I feel about that. But I do want to take a quick look at the leaderboard right now. I don't want to put it on the screen. I just want to vibe. I really just want to vibe. If I'm being honest, I just want to vibe. Okay. So we've got Pain on the hillside. Okay, so we have, yeah, Cartel on top. Yeah, but OP SWAT tactical team, these teams are like 40 points away. You know, Cartel has to drop like 3 stinkers for them not to have won this tournament though. You know, but Pain are very much very close there. Thorfinn does get a drop as well. I think he gets one of the guys from 305. And it's 5 eliminations for them, sitting in the top 7 right now. 25 players alive. 305 in the 305 onto the 305 onto the other side. And they are staying locked in. They are staying dropped in. This could be very problematic for them, though. It could be very problematic if they don't find a way through it. You know, but 305 could decide they would crack in, but Fox is not going to be so lucky, because Ego will pull up to the scene. He's the one to put the screws to their back line. Well, they were not aware of this guy, and they have learned the hard way. Again, I was expecting Ecstasy to still be in this area and capitalize exactly like this, but I don't know why they went back up to the hillside. You know, I was expecting this would be the play at the end of the day, but 305, they locked in and they got it done. Now things are looking very glim for three or five. They just really struggle with keeping their numbers up. Thorfinn, yeah, I'm pretty sure you can hear that guy, so it's really a matter of who's gonna shoot first. It's a matter of who's going to shoot first, who's going to come out on top of this, who's going to turn things around here. Mo's got the weapon in hand. Ooh. Oh! Well, that surprised me. Mo had that thing on him one time and he let those shots go. And that was really impressive, because 9 times out of 10, the person that's unknown to be in the house is going to get you down. But turns out that that's not going to be the case. You know? that was a nice shot from Kazoo. That's the opening that genz have been waiting for, but I spoke too soon because LB with a grenade from Hades will stop them dead in their tracks. And let's not forget, Pain is in the mix here, but genz do have all their numbers up. Again, I don't know why he was peeking that close to the window. You're not invisible. You're gonna get slapped up, and that's the danger now. Cause from us, again, you didn't have to turn. You didn't have to move, dog. You did not have to move, man. But hopefully they can't get their numbers back up. But TERRORSIX have to capitalize on this. Yeah, that grenade ain't making it, bro. You need to make your way through because it looks like that's not the case. Zaki's gonna try this again. Launch another one into the other side. And he does connect. Yaros is going to be a victim, and he's almost getting swept off there. That's a beautiful grenade from Zaki. genz to make something out of this there, but it's an unfortunate scenario that they're trying to work through. The Razor is creeping up. King Tartar's already exfoliating the bullets over to that left-hand side. Captain popping right through, but no, genz turns it around again. First drop, beautiful shot from Zaki. Goes for the first, but he cannot go for the second. King Tartar will put him out of his misery, and he will be going back into the lobby, but Pain continue to hold the high ground. They're squeezing everybody down the central line and into the open space. He's exposed, and a couple of shots will force him out into the open. A33 now trying to hold him on, but he will drop into the other side. Reaper will not reap this time. He's getting swept away by Neon Rising, and A33 will try again. Pops a grenade perfectly over to the top side, cuts more Chicks HP by 50%, but can he make something there? Because Batman's team will pop a low, and Pain will lose out, and it will be a forceful adventure here. The play zone has forced them into that open space, and A33 has given away his position. Sets it out for more Chicks. Does he have the angles? No, he does not, but that was dangerously close. Turning into something else, and here they come. More Pain taking it. And that is a very, very, very uncharacteristic demise from Neon Rising. Can they get their numbers back up? I believe they should be able to, though, but that was very, very close to being something dangerous. Do they have time, though? They don't have time. So wait, they're gonna leave him? I mean, I wouldn't leave him. I would just put him in the car and drive still, because you never know. You just never know. I would take him in the car and drive still. You never know what would happen. That is so interesting that Neon Rising decided that that is the route they would want to go about this, but they're gonna have a lot to go around here, and now they will have to try this off. More Chicks actually does get the drop on one of the guys from Pain, but the pressure is too high, and they aren't capitalizing on this. Pain staying locked in here. The smokes, now would be the time to pop them, to let them out. He does let them out. I believe he can pick up more Chicks, but he has to be careful about grenades though coming through. We are down to 3 teams. Neon Rising still in a very, very useful position. All about here. He does have a grenade. He might be able to make something out of it there. That's another one launched over to the top side, but it's too far out. He tries again, goes for the second, and then goes for the third. I'm surprised the grenades are not connected there, but unfortunately it's not going to be the case. Play zone is not favorable for either of these teams. They will be running out here, and they will be moving to the Ego. And More Chicks does get a drop on Borny this time around, and just in the nick of time as the play zone already starts to move. But let's not forget, Ego's already there. He's going for the pickup. Beautiful from Morsteed, and now he immediately gets run away, run down, run through. More Chicks into the corner, dips into the smoke. A33 will close out. Ego go out as well. 1v1, but low HP. Surely he will clutch, and Pain once again will take the chicken dinner, but Neon Rising made them work really hard for it. More Steeds and more Chicks with 8 eliminations to the good, and 8 eliminations as well for Pain, but that chicken dinner makes it all the more sweeter. And Ego in 3rd place with 5 eliminations. TERRORSIX in 4th with 5 as well. genz in 5th with 6 eliminations. 305 in 6th with 3. Tactical Team in 7th with 5. V3 in 8th. Ecstasy in 9th with 5. Persecutors in 10th with 3, Dark Knights in 11th, ZEUS in 12th with 4, OP SWAT with in 13th, Cartel in 14th, and Mad Monkeys in 15th with 1. Wow, that was quite an interesting end of the game, though. It was actually very intense. I really thought Neon Rising could have it, but they were not expecting those vehicles to be pulling up at that stage. I wasn't even expecting Ego to be using vehicles, at that point. But looks like that was the play, and it did work out for them. But they did lose out, throughout that entire exchange. But you still gotta respect the game regardless. But ladies and gentlemen, that is game number 1 for the grand final for day 3. 3 more games up for grabs. So don't touch that down. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And if you're watching us on TikTok, don't forget to hit those likes. We'll see you right after the break. All right. Welcome back to the show, ladies and gentlemen. It is the Clatter of Clans Season 25, the grand final, day 3. And we are in our second match out of 4 for tonight. You already know it's going to be an interesting one. I think Cartel just need like a chicken dinner, and I think everybody else's fate is sealed. But then again, Pain have gotten another chicken dinner, so I think they may be tired on chicken dinners, if I'm not mistaken. I think the two of them tired on chicken dinners right now, so this could be the opportunity for Cartel to, you know, make it or break it, to decide for themselves that, you know, this is the game where they just, you know, close their eyes, make a wish, and get the job done. Who is this in the south with Neon Rising? Who is that? Cartel? Is that Cartel? Oh, this is not the best way for them to start this game at all, if that is them. Okay, it's not them, right? Is it? It's them. It's actually them. Whoa. And they have Akainu all the way over to the north. I think he might be AFK. Is he AFK? Okay, he's not. He's not AFK, right? He's not. But goddamn, like, I'm not even sure what the strategy is now. I think he's gonna be behind his I think he's by himself. It's not the best way to start the game at all in a 3-1 split. 4 versus 3 against Neon Rising that are starting to pick up form. I don't think this would be the best way for them to start this game at all. But I want to see how well they will handle this pressure. Bullets have already started to fly, and Skills Boys, the first one to go down. And I think they should capitalize. It would be ideal to press. You know, they should press forward, press the advantage. I mean, yeah, why not? You know, like, why not? Like they will be pressing, but again, these guys are in a nasty split. I'm not sure he's aware that stress is here. Is he aware? He might be. Yeah, he wasn't aware. Oh, this is gonna cost him though. Ooh, that was very smart. That was really very smart. That was very smart of him, actually. And he picked the right spot to hide in. Ooh, this is going to be a very interesting one. But I think the rest of Neon Rising should be pulling up to this spot right now. He's a solo guy. He's by himself. He's isolated. Now would be the time for the rest of the team to pull up to this particular location and isolate this guy and eliminate him and further make it much more stressful. Because right now Mornax is isolated, but I think Morstees gets the idea and he's going to pull up, because that is the best way to do this. That is the only way to do this. And Neon Rising, I think they will be capitalizing on this right here, as Morstees is going to be circling back again. You don't have to go crazy with the spin, right? You don't got to go crazy with the spin, but Mad Monkey's putting in the work against the guys from Pain. But I think we'll be straight out. Yeah, stress. Very smart guy. He moves out of the way, and now it will give the guys from Neon Rising time to recuperate. But now, you know, they've split themselves even further, so this might allow Neon Rising to press forward over here. Exactly, this is what I would expect. Good, because this is the tactical stuff that goes on in PUBG Mobile. You know, a lot of tactical stuff going on here, because they've isolated one man, so they know that these guys are short a couple man again. They don't know if they're short 2 players, but they know that they're short of 1, so they already know that there's a numerical advantage in existence right now. So this puts the ball into Neon Rising's court relatively very quickly. Cartel, on the other hand, not too advanced. They don't have too much to work with. They're outnumbered, and they're getting casually forced into a corner. So More Chicks has to creep up unnoticed and launch one diabolical grenade that will put Cartel in a very, very tough spot. Because they did get a knock earlier on. More Chicks continues to make his advance here. I believe he has been spotted. Has he been spotted? I don't think so. Ooh, man. Yeah, one grenade is doing the job here for sure. One grenade in here is gonna do the job. That's for certain. Genz, on the other hand, putting the work in and dealing with, I believe, one of the guys from the Persecuters. Are they trying to go for a bait and switch? Are they trying to get someone to peek out of the top? I think they are. Ooh, looks like Neon Rising want to commit to this. They have. Morris stays. Is he AFK? Yes, Morris stays is AFK. What a time to go AFK. This is unfortunate if it doesn't work out the way they were expecting it. But it looks like Danny Brown will get a drop on Error. And Beggar will be getting knocked away, but immediately Beast You will return fire there. Bendo Baby, the next one to follow down. But ooh, that's a beautiful grenade from Mornax. And now Neon Rising doing exactly what needs to be done. And he bounces off the stairs, but surely they have to capitalize on this. They cannot allow for the pickup. Another grenade has to be sent through, but it's unfortunate. But let them not forget, there's still a body circumventing in the area, though. Molotov cocktail has been tossed into the corner there. Mornax takes a little bit of damage from getting to corner. Again, they will try to lock this in. More Chicks. Ground floor. More Steez is battling seriously. He's heavily battling with that internet, but Xerox is not going to be lucky this time. Phasing to the right. Oh, there's trouble now. Skills Boys gets the drop, and that's 3 of them dropped away. And Neon Rising capitulate. I mean, the moment Morris Steez was AFK, I didn't believe in this push anymore. I did not believe in this push anymore. The moment this guy was AFK, I just didn't believe in the push anymore. This is so unfortunate for Neon Rising. But yeah, the moment I saw Steez was AFK, I did not believe in the push anymore. Unfortunate, very unfortunate for Neon Rising. They do lose out. I think something was popping in Yasnaya, right? Yeah, something was popping over here. And it looks like Ecstasy did come out with 3 against a tactical team in Yasnaya. Again, Ecstasy coming out on top in Yasnaya. I'm grateful for that, I'll tell you. I'm very grateful for that. Beef Stew starts to pack it in. Yeah, but OP SWAT, they've already lost 1 to the knock. Ecstasy is trying to capitalize on this one now. They're trying to find the angles here. Easy for 7 cracks into the open corners. Tinder has been spotted. Grenades most likely follow through. Did get picked up into the other side as well. They tried to get to the angles, but looks like that's not going to be the case. They're already trying to make the advance. They're only trying to make this happen. He spotted immediately and dropped. Their Tinder will not be swiping right this time. Trying to make something happen here, but Danny Brown gets stopped away by Scary. Now a big trade-off. And easy for 7, 1 HP, but he's trying to make this through. OP SWAT have decided to crash the party. And Beggar's on the other side as well, trying to take the open corners and open spaces. Gabriel had no idea that easy for 7 was there. We'll send him back into the lobby. Tinder's also knocked away. This is a difficult breach for OP SWAT to make, as Beggar will throw another curveball, and Cash will not succeed. He will not survive. Ecstasy will give us ecstasy once more. 7 eliminations, and that is the best performance they have had in the entirety of this grand final. I do not think they have gotten 7 eliminations in any of the matches. And what is the difference, ladies and gentlemen? You know what the difference is. You know who the difference maker is, and he has absolutely made a difference. Ecstasy may just do something absolutely diabolical in this last day of the grand finals. But eyes on the prize regardless. They will hold out this position. I think they will be holding it out for the most part. But we will see. I would have held the position, but you know, Ecstasy, they don't play compounds, they play terrains, they play regions, they play areas. You know, it's always going to be a good side to watch when you see teams that do play regions, do play areas. And I think we do have Dark Knights in the area coming in from the western side. But the off lane is 3. Rozok is where they are heading, and it looks like that is where they will be staying. Dark Knights. They're staying there. Locked in over to this western side for the most part. Yeah, quite interested in seeing how the teams in the south are figuring out, because Future and Ego did get knocked away. That was not how they were expecting this to go. ZEUS continue to apply more pressure over to that south side, but it looks like TERRORSIX did lose out a couple of bodies there. Just trying to make quick work of this. They've also got 7 eliminations, but Gen Z will not be surviving any further. Logic will put the final nail in the coffin for Gen Z, but not without them taking some pound of flesh. I love the drinks in public, I can't lie. I love the drinks. Ooh, 305. It looks like they are getting at ecstasy. Dropped it to the other side as well. He's also going to be a victim there. He will be getting sent back into the lobby. And that will be the end of the road for them, as they will be losing Beef Stew there to that engagement. And Cartel, oh no. But they actually run into ZEUS. Ooh, I mean, do they want to commit? Nah, they're not going to commit. ZEUS actually made them turn away, and this could have gone sideways relatively very quickly for Ecstasy, but fortunately for them, Beef Stew is the only casualty that they will have in this exchange, and Cartel have giving them cause for concern. But they have to be very careful though with the way they are making their rotations going forward, because ZEUS is a one-man, but I don't think Cartel are aware that ZEUS is a one-man, because I think it wouldn't have mattered regardless, but you know, they would have seen how that would advance, circle back into the game. But you know, eyes on the prize regardless. It's a good shout. It's a very good shout. 11 elimination for Ecstasy. Again, they have picked up on their stride. A lot of question and answer sessions here, but we've kept things under wraps for the most part. Bullets still continuously flying. Yeah, because I was expecting that to happen though. I'm pretty sure they heard Logic do a madness against one of the guys from Cartel. Oh, he wants it. Oh, he wants the smoke for sure. Oh, I respect it regardless. I respect it though. He wants the smoke. Can he take on Bego and 27 at the same time? Don't think so. Yeah, nah. Oh, he does get Bego dropped away. And easy for 7 now in the 1v1 against Logic, but he manages to scrape through. But that was dangerous. Dangerous. Very dangerous. Danny Brown is bleeding out fast. And if Cartel heard that commotion, this is the time for them to strike. Yes, they will strike. But it's pain actually that strikes. Easy for 7. He has to try to find a way through. Well, that was very, very unfortunate. Very unfortunate for Danny Brown. I mean, he's been getting knocked a lot, so it's really what he deserved. He was getting knocked a lot, so it's what he deserved. No empathy here. No empathy here. No sympathy. No sorry. He was getting knocked down a lot. He shouldn't have gotten knocked away by Logic at all. He did not have to get knocked away by Logic, because I'm pretty sure he had to be aware that Logic was in that area, because after their engagement with 305, Logic put something, you know, he put the fear of God into the guys from Cartel, and that will happen from that hillside position. So he had to be aware that he was up there. So why did he get knocked away? You know, no empathy here. No empathy here. It's not like Logic didn't make noise. He did make noise. And that's just what the noise was. Well, Cartel, I mean, is a good performance. Closes that one out. Can Stress get picked up? No. Stress goes out. And Pain, they know it's cartel. They know they need to get this done. Another grenade right through the window here. Dark Knights. Are they in the area? Yes, they are. I mean, yeah, it's really a matter of who wants it more at this point, because Dark, they can easily pack everybody in here with this position they've got. I think they've spotted Xerox in there, but that would be one eye of the needle type of spray to get him from that angle. That would be an eye of the needle spray to get him from that angle. Again, it would be impressive to make it happen, but Dark Knights pull up into the corner. God, dude. My goodness, bruh. And then this guy leaves. Oh my days, man. Then he leaves. Then he just leaves. He opts and leaves. Like, come on, bruh. One grenade, 7 apples, and then he ups and leaves. Yeah, they're gonna. I thought Pain were gonna have something on their hands here with Dark circling in the area, but I thought too highly of Dark Knights. I'm not gonna lie. That's the end of the road for Cartel, and Pain are gonna love this. They're not gonna pull up on Dark though. They're probably gonna pull up on this guy now, because now that they saw that he ran away, they're gonna. Yeah, if they have, I'm pretty sure they'll pull up on him for sure. They'll probably take a car and just pull up on his position or something. Yeah, because they know that he's the only one. We'll just pull up on him one time. Yeah, they're gonna pull up on. I just knew it. They're gonna pull up on that guy. Yeah, they're gonna pull up on that guy for sure. They'll go out of the zone and pull up on this guy. I just knew that's exactly what they're gonna do. And they're not gonna lose anybody. They're not gonna lose anyone to this. None of them are gonna die. Yeah. Saw that happening. I'm over with the final drop. S12K to the chest. And right now, ladies and gentlemen, Pain have overtaken Cartel on the leaderboard. And Ego, deep in the south, in a 3-man split. They do have Ecstasy to the western side. I think they do have Stone. Yeah, it is Stone from Tactical Team, also from the northern side. He hasn't left Yasnaya this entire time, but now he has been forced to move. Play zone moves into the south, and another zone move in a couple of seconds. A big decider now for how this will play out. But right now, Ecstasy sitting on 11-12 eliminations, and Ego. How many are Ego sitting on though? So they're sitting on 4. And how many are Tactical sitting on? Yeah, nothing. Well, you have to move, bro. Like, you know, again, you have to read the map. You have to read the zone. There's 9 players alive. I'm pretty sure there's enough play zone to take you. You know, there's enough play zone. You don't have to worry about, you know, the zone chasing you, driving you. There's only 9 players inside of the zone. There will be space for you. You know, it's not like you have like maybe 18 players. If you had 18 players in this zone, okay, I would say be worried and take your time with your rotation. But when you have 9 players, I think you can, you know, you don't have to be too worried about making your rotation. But maybe this guy might play spoiler for someone, but I don't see that happening. I don't think he plays spoiler for anyone. I think he's gonna get spotted by one of these teams and he's gonna get uprooted relatively very quickly. Again, he has spotted guys from Pain though, and he turns around. He turns around. Yeah, they saw you already, dog. Yeah, you ain't making it, dog. I always knew he wasn't making it. He was gonna get spotted. I don't know why he thought they didn't see him. I don't know why he thought he wasn't spotted. Exactly my point. Like, delaying your rotation, all those antics. Nah, bruh. Go to the zone, bruh. Go to the zone one time. Go into the zone one time. You know, I mean, look at how they circled him in. That was nasty from Payne. And now they're up to 9 eliminations. 3 teams alive, not 8 players left. Ecstasy, Payne, and Ego. All 1 to 2 players short. So the 3 versus 3 versus 2. Ecstasy currently still with the charge in them. But right now, as it stands, Payne is in front. They are currently number 1 on the call sheet. They're number 1 on the leaderboard. And Mo has found himself inside of the zone here, so he has to fight a lot of battles. But Ego will choose to hold the terrain. Oh, this is going to be a very interesting final circle, though. A very interesting final zone, I can't lie. Ooh. That one would have hurt a lot. Reaper. Turn around a little bit too long there, and he's punished. He's absolutely punished. Bego will steal that one away. And Ego have been cut down to 2 now. And all of a sudden, Payne have the numbers advantage. So 3 versus 2 versus 2. Ego will continue to hold down the terrain, though they will not advance in a little bit deeper to the zone. They will hold out to see if the play zone is going to force them out into the open. At least either of these teams. It's really a matter of who the zone is going to love right now. Eyes on everyone else. But Bego continues to pepper the shots over to the guys from Payne, continuously adding the pressure onto their position. Remember, it is all about the zone now. And the zone forces Payne into the open. Do they have the smokes to get this done, or will they just crash the party where Ecstasy is? I believe that would be the best call. We're going to see, is Ego going to trade one back? Oh, this is going to be an interesting one here. Batman speeds out to the right hand side. And A33 has been spotted though. Tendo sees him over to the hillside. And a little bit of a down off. Well, that was not the best spray. And the bullets continue to rain in. Yeah, that's not going to yield anything for you, dog. You gotta move around. You gotta move around quick. You gotta move around quickly. Eyes on the prize regardless still, but Payne have not moved into the zone just yet. They're waiting, they're biding their time. Tendo pops the adrenaline because he knows he might be tanking a little bit of that blue zone juice any moment from now, but the terrain here. But Ego are in major trouble. They're in a lot of trouble. But Payne have made it into the circle. It is now a matter of can they hold it out. Yep, Bad Mountain falls victim. And A33 will close out on his position. Yo, that's crazy. That is absolutely crazy. And the play zone has forced Ecstasy out into the open. Oh no, Payne have taken the game for sure now. Yeah, the play zone is not going to help this guy at all, man. I mean, unless somehow one of the players from Payne gets knocked away, I don't see this coming out. I don't see this working. You know, A33 is still a threat. Unless Bego can get a spray from this position. But I don't see that working. Yeah, that's not gonna work. I think it would be time for him to advance. Oh yeah. Bevel forced into the corner there. Yeah, they knew you was there, bro. They knew you were gonna be there. Perfectly launched grenade. And that is the end of the road. 13 eliminations for Pain. But that chicken dinner makes it even sweeter. Back-to-back chicken dinners for Pain right now. Surely they may just be one chicken dinner away from being crowned champions of the Clash of Clans for season 25. But Ecstasy, what a performance they have had. MVP is Bego for sure. And 13 eliminations as well for Ecstasy. And Ego in third with 4. Tactical Team in 4th. Dark Knights in 5th. And Cartel in 6th with 4. ZEUS in 7th with 8. Or is it 9? 9. TERRORSIX in 8th with 1. 305 in 9th with 1. genz in 10th with 7. V3 in 11th. OP SWAT in 12th. Neon Rising in 13th. Persecuters in 14th. And Mad Monkeys in 15th with 1. back to the show, ladies and gentlemen. It is the Clash of Clans season 25, the grand finals. And it is day 3. And the action does not stop here. It absolutely does not stop here. Well, what a sight for sore eyes this is. Ecstasy taking all the hits. And I think they will be losing out in I think they will be losing out. Whoop, I spoke too soon. Well, I really spoke too soon on this one. Yeah. I spoke too soon. Again, Danny Brown gets sent back into the lobby. I'm starting to see a pattern here. But you know, it is what it is. Ecstasy once again come out on top. Easy for 7 with 3 bodies caught. I mean, Ecstasy, could they finish top 3? That would be next level if they actually finish top 3, because their performance alone puts them, I believe the previous game's performance puts them into the top 8. I think if they do well enough in this game, they will be put in the top 3. Of course, they're not going to win the tournament anymore, but a top 3 finish after all they've done is going to be next level. It's going to be absolutely diabolical. Absolutely diabolical. But you know, the reason for their performance, the reason for the season is right on your screens. It's Bego, of course, but easy for 7 again. I mean, the lineup is so different. It's actually very different. You know, we don't have a Crusader and Beast Stew in this lineup. We have Ruda, because I think it was Ruda, Crusader, Beast Stew, and was it Danny Brown? I think. So this is a much better lineup. This is a much better lineup. You know, Ruda in the cut, Bego, easy for 7. I'm pretty sure they will turn the heat up a little bit more. We're starting to see that. Right now, looks like a ZEUS receiving end of something here. But as it stands, ZEUS finally finding that a little bit of technology in them. They will be trading out with some seize points in there. But ladies and gentlemen, this is the Clash of Clans Season 25, brought to you by Unsullied Army and Dataup Gaming. You already know. You know, what are your predictions for this game? Because it's going to be very interesting to see who comes out on top here. Neon Rising losing more chicks too early for my liking. You know, I feel very down there, but there's a drop on him, and they're not going to like that. But again, this is Rozhawk, so I don't see skills, but definitely going to get picked up. But War Pain is in the corner there, but he might be able to get something. Yeah, I don't know why he thought he wasn't gonna be spotted right there, though. Like, these are the things. Yeah, you're not making it. There's a lot of bodies in there, man. I mean, it's. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. Sometimes I really don't. You know, but then again, Cartel is really that good. So, I guess we just call it that. Yeah. What? They have a vehicle. They pulled up. Who's coming behind? Is that 305? Is that 305 pulling up from the backside? Yeah. That's one for the history books there. But is it B3? I think it's B3. He does get the drop on him. And another one pulls up again. This could be. Nope. Spoke too soon. Yeah, Xerox was waiting for that one. He was absolutely waiting for that one. he had a plan, executed perfectly. V3, on the other hand, I really thought they were about to third party this, but there's still a chance they might. But Cartel right now, starting really strongly, 4 eliminations. Again, it's the same team that eliminated Neon Rising in the previous game. They eliminate Neon Rising again. V3 have lost tire now. But they might decide to opt the switch on them. You know, that's the thing about some teams. You know, best believe Cartel will pull up on these guys. They will pull up on them. They will get tired of the stalemate and pull up on them. We're going to see that happen. You know, V3 is not going to assess the low ground. You know, Falcon has taken a couple of hits there from Xerox. So Cartel, they've gotten a little bit of intel. Like I said, they're gonna pull up. They will. Falcon got out of that. Yep, I knew they were gonna pull up. They will. They were always gonna pull up. Sways over to the left hand side. But this would have been a perfect opportunity for Xerox to get clacked. That would have been a perfect opportunity for him to get clacked by Saint. But Saint gives up his own position to turn into a 1 versus 2 again. You know, Xerox is just trying to bait them into one position. You can see that is a strategy there. He gets Falcon knocked away. And now the rest of the team will converge on this position and take and spread out. I mean, Cartel, they play this so effortlessly. You know, Falcon is not going to get picked up today. Exactly. The rest of the team will pull up. Skills Boy is now here. They lose out. I told you, these guys were going to pull up. They will pull up on them. They're not going to allow them to hang around, you know, in this area for too long. That's just the kind of team they are, you know. That's really the kind of team they are. They've practiced this time and time again, you know. And here comes Pain. Now this is the only team that could, you know, put a dent in their plans. Pain is the only team that can put a dent in their plans because currently Pain is in first place on the leaderboard. But now there could be a change in dynamic. Now Pain is another team that's gonna, you know, they're not going to force a stalemate here, but there's not too many you know, players alive to share the eliminations across the board, because let's not forget Ecstasy is in full force, so they will be taking some, if not all, from that eastern side. They will be focused on there though. But Pain in a trade-off split. Oh, and here comes A33. He gets Skilled Boy knocked away here, and Venom right through the eye of the needle. There's the drop on here. And as I said, this is the only team that will pose a threat to Cartel. Look at the push coming through from Pain. Oh, beautiful. But unfortunately, Xerox cannot deal with the chaos that is coming his way. Pain about to make them feel that pain. Cartel trying to make this one work through again. Molotov right into the first floor, trying to send it in immediately. Beautiful shot from Xerox as Venom gets knocked away. Cartel in the driver's seat right now. They trade off one for the other. Into the corner, into the other corner. Tries to sing the DBS again to close this out. Doesn't allow him to go for the pickup. The grenade is swapped through into the left-hand side. He's low on HP, almost getting A33. Swept away into the corner as well. He will be fighting the dust as Venom and Born will work hand in hand to swap that one away. Stress will have to make something work out of this one. And Cartel, Ecstasy go out to TERRORSIX. And now Cartel. Pain have not lost any players just yet. Amo still knocked away, but he has been smoked off. And Cartel starting to capitulate under the pressure. Keen on the ground floor. He's taking so much damage, but he does get the drop. Another grenade, one more grenade. Surely now will put this out and put him to bed. But he will hold on. Can they allow him to get the reset? Oh, that's a nasty grenade right through the middle of the park, the middle of the hallway. And he will try to get his HP back up. They're still on 6 eliminations, and Pain are starting to recuperate and get themselves back in full strength. Stress. I know he's feeling stressed right now. He's lost his helmet. And one headshot or two, he's gonna be dropped straight to the ground. Closed mouths do not get fed. Oh, they were ready. They were absolutely ready. And the breach in the darkness now may have just cost Pain something that they cannot buy in the market. They've lost one. It's white like Christmas. On the ground floor, they can't seem to find a way through. Stress is looking for it. He's listening with the audio cues. And he will claim another one, but this time he will be stopped. Akinu now is all left to him. Can he clutch? Tries again. No, he will not. Pain. Pain once again will make Cartel feel pain. And with that, surely now they cannot be stopped. With that performance, all they need now is a chicken dinner, and they will show Cartel exactly how it is done. Yeah, now is the time to decide to show up. Oh my goodness. Now is the time you decide to show up. While all that was going on, you didn't show up. It's now. Oh my goodness, man. 5 eliminations for Pain, Bonnie, and AW3. Putting the absolute work in for Cartel. I mean, maybe if Cartel wins the last game, maybe if they do. Maybe if they win the last game with a decent number of eliminations, they could turn this around. But I don't think they can. You know, Pain have just really demoralized them. I think that's just what the scenario is here. I think Pain have just cost them a lot. SWAT. We have some answers for TERRORSIX here, as they will be trading one apiece. Well, it looks like Ego is the one who's trying to reach inside here. OP SWAT. They could really try to lock this in. That's a good grenade for Kesh. Scary with a grenade of his own. That was a very good grenade from Kesh again. Gotta do everything right though. I mean, he's right there, bro. He's really right there. What? He was right there, right? Well, am I tweeting? Okay, he's outside. Okay, looks like he's outside, right? Yeah, he's outside. Okay, I thought he was in the corner there. But genz getting a piece of the action as well. Tendo has been swept back into the lobby. Typical was bound to be discovered, though. He was discovered by Kesh. And now it's time for genz. They want a piece of the action as well. Oh, that's a solid. He's taking a little bit of damage from Molotov, but should be fine in the corner. Ooh. Good defensive line. But immediately gets punished. I mean, this is the most tactical of all the tactical waitings I have ever seen. OP SWAT continues to be tactical with it there. Another hit, sprays into the distance, but he can't seem to find anything through the slopes. And Pain, here comes Pain. Here they come again. Grenade. This is how you third party. This is the best time AW3 with a fantastic grenade over the top side. And now they're closing shop. They're opening the zones one after the other. genz in trouble. Kevin, the last one there. There's only so much he could do there. He did manage to catch Venom, but Amo was there to shut it down. 8 eliminations for Pain. Chicken Dinner is very much in the vicinity. Once again, 3 chicken dinners in a row. Now, I was talking about Cartel's performance, but Pain's performance is much better. I mean, 3 chicken dinners in a row, it's diabolical. It's diabolical. It's absolutely diabolical. I was expecting a diabolical performance, but again, from Cartel. But again, it's not how you start. It's always going to be how you finish. Pain have outshined them. They've adapted to the game, they've gotten better, they've understood how to play. Wow, there's only 2 teams left. Damn. How many teams did we start with? Crazy. Absolutely crazy. I mean, where is the last team? Where's the last team there? It's 1 person left. Okay, I think Amo is about to discover him. No, he spotted him. Yeah, he spotted him. It's wow, this game really ending with zone 4. Game ending with zone 4. Oh my goodness. This has to be a record. The quickest Erangel game, bruh. The quickest Erangel game. This has to be the quickest one. It absolutely has to be the quickest Erangel game. Pain getting the job done once again. Back to back chicken dinners. 9 eliminations. Ego in 2nd place. genz in 3rd with 4. OP SWAT in 4th with 5. TERRORSIX in 5th with 4. I mean, this was barely zone 4. It was barely zone 4. TERRORSIX in 5th place with 4. V3 in 6th. Cartel in 7th with 6. Ecstasy in 8th with 6 as well. Crazy. I did not even know that. They got up to 6. ZEUS in 9th with 7. 305 in 10th with 3. Persecuters in 11th with 4. Neon Rising in 12th. Dark Knight in 13th. And the Tactical Team in 14th with 1. Right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. It is the Clash of Clans Season 25, the Grand Final, Day 3, and this is the last match. And it's a showdown, a big showdown right now. It is going to be a very interesting turn of events here. Big game, very big game. But right now, we'll be seeing an interesting tonality for the most part. You know, most teams have been trying their absolute best to make something happen here, but we've seen that you know, we've seen that they've tried something interesting here. But eyes on the prize regardless. It is a matter of perspective. It is a matter of understanding what is at stake here. Right now we have 12 teams all battling for a way through to be revered as the top dog. Who are we missing here though? Water treatment, nobody there. Where is Ecstasy though? Are they already back in the lobby? Okay, they are playing is 2. Go Bego and Easy for 7. Bego did manage to get 1, but I think he was against the 05. Pain will now be playing his 3 in the final third. I wonder where Cartel is in all of this. Cartel playing as a full squad. I mean, if they do have one hell of a performance inside of this game, this could be the game changer for them as well. But we are going to find out if that will be the case. A lot of teams, you know, they will be trying something new, trying something different, trying to maintain the forum. But don't forget to like, share, and offer your opinions in the comment section. I mean, if Pain win this game, if they win this game, bro, this would single-handedly be the best Clatter of Clans Grand Final performance I have ever had the opportunity of witnessing. And you know, this is a tournament that I myself have participated in. I did see a strategy, you know, coming in from Pain in yesterday's Miramar game, which they ended up winning as well. It entailed playing a little bit slow, you know, tanking the blue zone for the most part of the game, you know, and then coming in hard, pause, in the final stretch, and it did work out for them. You know, it worked out perfectly for them. But you know, we're gonna see for ourselves. It's not gonna be the case in this game. We're gonna do more of the same. Well, we are going to find out. We are definitely going to find out. It does look like ooh, stress. Was not expecting this. LP SWAT will not be backing down. They will trade one off. Stress gets knocked away here. But I don't know if they have an angle to deal with this. Because as it stands, it's going to cost a lot for them. They are trying to find angles to make something work for them in these are open spaces. There's a lot of teams in the area as well. I believe that is Ego that has just pulled up to the scene, right? I think it's them, and this is the potential for a major threat here. Xerox is under fire, under heavy fire. And I'm surprised Kesh has not capitalized on this as well. Kinu is also trying to circle back. There's a lot of teams in the open spaces here, but typical will get the knock as Xerox will be getting knocked away. It is going to be an expensive gesture because Tendo is the one that pulls off. And now the opposition has changed up. I mean, when you're trying to escape, you know, it do be like that. It do be like that. But Cartel are fighting on their own ones. That is a very, very harsh knock on Eagle right now. They have 2 players knocked away, but potentially Tendo makes the right choice. He does go for the pickup. But, you know, owing to the fact that there's a lot of teams and a lot of bodies in the area, I think they will be able to survive this because Cartel is also still in the cut. And I'm not sure how many players they've lost in this little bit of an exchange that they've had here. Kinu, they've lost 3. Oh, that is dangerous. I mean, if they get eliminated now, Pain have won. If they get eliminated now, Pain have won. Yeah, but I don't see them doing much. But is anybody going to talk about this battle though? Are they going to talk about this battle? And Gabriel is Kinu tries to steal it. But unfortunately, he ducks just behind cover on the right time. Gabriel has been knocked off. Akidu tries again. It might be time for him to pack it in. To keep his teammates alive. Reaper has a beautiful angle, but he is exposed to Scary. And that's going to be the end of the road for him as well. Kesh is going to be the next victim of another grenade. He might be getting blown away. The vehicle. He manages to escape the danger just by a lick of paint. But Scary had other news for him. He does get him knocked all the way back. But not much comes out of this though. But Cash will not see the end of the match as he also goes back into the lobby. Good use of the smokes there. Scary, the last warrior for OP SWATs. They've got 6 eliminations in the bag right there. Both of them are knocked away. I thought he was picking him up, bruh. I thought he was picking him up though. That's what I thought. But Pain continued to mount pressure. Reaper, the last one left for Ego, and Neon Rising starting to capitalize, starting to get a hold of that eastern side. Morris D's with the M24 continues to. On the intel being delivered. And so here's a very curious case here as Ravage continues to eastern side. But Neon Rising, they've put in a lot of work here. You know, we've seen them do this time and time again. Phase 2 of the circle shrinks quite nicely. Pain still holding up that northern side. And they have secured 2 eliminations so far. If they win another chicken dinner, I mean, it's levels. It's just pure levels. You know, that's what I would call it, just levels. Being levels ahead of the opposition, levels ahead of everybody else. TERRORSIX is also another team that has a lot of potential, though. They are very solid in their mark, but they don't really have that follow through. You know, towards the end of the game, they do lack that. They lack that a lot. We're about to see if they do have something out of the ordinary here in this particular game. I don't think they've got a chicken dinner either, but they've put themselves a lot of times in positions where that is a possibility. V3 with their first elimination of the game, and then comes at the expense of 305. I believe it was Mo that got caught out. Fox as well is in a little bit of a position he did not like. Overwhelmed. Alpha is right behind him. At the moment he tried to op the blicky on him, he gets swept away. V3 come out on top, 3 eliminations to the good, and it is going to be 305 sent back into the lobby once again. It's never been one thing to close this out, but it looks like Pain and Neon Rising may be locking horns here. Does look like Pain could be on the receiving end of something here, because I believe they have been spotted. They could have some repercussions on how they are making their rotations, though. It is a bit of a drop. Trying to make quick work of the position they've been handed themselves, as Pain have lost A33. rotation coming through from Payne, still holding out northern side, still, you know, just on top of the play zone, greater fields. It's still the same strategy we did apply in yesterday's Miramar game. It's pretty much more of the same, you know, and it did work out for them in that game. But you know, they did have 4 bodies, so this is going to be, I would say, this is going to be a little bit more, much more difficult, you know, getting off. But this is more of a Neon Rising type of game. It's starting to feel that way. The strategy is starting to look very innocuous. It's really starting to look innocuous for them, but we've seen them play exactly like this going forward. But they are trying to hold the high ground position, trying to work their way through, worm their way through to the zone. Genz over to the eastern side, they've been holding themselves quite accountable as well. Everyone is going up for a high ground position, a high risk, high reward type of position. Looks like Genz are playing this one quite interesting though, you know, trying to hold the high ground, the hillside, all by themselves, for themselves. I mean, it's going to be hard to get, it's really going to be hard to get eliminations from here though, but it does work for intel gathering. V3 is also in the mix, so it's going to be a mountain to mountain battle. But it isn't something they've planned for regardless. But Neon Rising, on the other hand, they have spotted the inconsistencies of these rotations, and they might be looking for an exploit. It is facing the here. Solid work. It's absolutely solid work from Neon Rising, finding their way through. I mean, solid rotation from Neon Rising though. You know, Payne have been forced out of the zone. Unfortunately, their strategy has not paid off this time around, and it is looking to get a little bit more expensive as they are trying to find their way and navigate through the final third of the zone. A couple of minutes until zone 5, where it starts to get very, very sticky. But TERRORSIX sitting in a central position, but he hasn't secured any elimination just yet. Like a V3 fighting on the hillside that they've sworn to protect. Genz have something in the books for them though. Tyre trying his best to make something happen out of here, but Tomas Just playing a little bit behind. Trying to circle back, trying to get onto the high side of the hill, take away whatever is left of the three. One by one, they're starting to deal the damage. Saints might be the one that's going to be swept away here. Doesn't look like he will be getting picked up. I mean, this is the danger of playing on the hillside. You know, on top of the hillside, this is what it costs. That's the end of the road for him. Falcon, though, is very much in the mix here. I'm not sure they're aware of his position. Genz have every single base covered, though, so it could work for them. Fighting on his lonesome here for V3, trying to keep their hopes alive. Up onto the side, continues to mount pressure on him now. He has to switch over. Tomas has pulled up on him as well. He's taking so much damage. He's 1 HP. All it takes is one more shot, and Kazoo's the one that puts the final nail in the coffin there. And that will be the end of V3. Kazoo from the top of the hill gets the job done. And he felt, yeah, because I knew that that was the only way he was going to have to fall from there. But now, can he get picked up? I think he can, though. You know, the smokes will get the job done. But yeah, that was very risky. But it looks like it paid off. OP SWAT now continuously mounting some sort of pressure from the low ground, trying to pack it in. Wow, what? Tomas gets knocked away again by Scary. I mean, you have to respect the the consistency with that, though. That will be the end of Scary. Super Nigga will put his superpowers to good use. Again, this reeks of a Neon Rising game every step of the way. I said it earlier. This is very much the game that goes their way. All they have to do now is deal with TERRORSIX. The breach into TERRORSIX is where they make or break this game. I think they can play in from the western side without even losing anybody here. But if they lose anyone here, that's it's gonna be a wrap. But I think they can play from that western side and occupy those positions. That is if TERRORSIX do not spread themselves across. But things are going to look very, very interesting going forward. Super Nigga is the one that makes that rotation inside, and he moves there before Neon Rising. So this is going to be a very expensive position for him to hold with the rest of his teammates, because they need to make that advance and they need to pull up very quickly. Ooh, this is not wise. That's not wise. But he has gotten the intel. He is aware of Neon Rising up on the hillside as well. He will try again. But Neon Rising, they're hanging out here a little bit too long. Yeah, this is the only thing that would stop Neon Rising, though. You know, not being able to deal with with this. Can he spray from that distance though? Can he cause a threat to Super Nigga from that distance? I mean, Mornax goes down again. Morris Steez has been taking hits. He's been taking a lot of hits as he's trying to hold off that line again. But I think he will be able to make the job in. But this rotation taking a little bit longer than I thought. But it looks like they will not be taking the compound. They would rather play inside the div. I mean, fair enough, it could work, but they are going to be exposed to grenades. That's where it's going to get very, very iffy for them. You know, they will be getting exposed to grenades as expected. The grenades have already started to come out, but you know, it could work. I mean, their vehicles could provide some cover. Yo, that was very close. That was equally very close. 4 teams alive. Who's going to close out the game here? I mean, Pain are still here. Somehow these guys are still alive. If they win another chicken dinner, they are arguably the best team I have ever seen in COC history. If they win this game, that's just what it's going to be. That is absolutely what it's going to be. Absolutely what it's going to mean. But regardless, Ravage putting in some work for the Persecutors, but they are playing as 2 there. Prey Boy has been knocked away there. He has to say some prayers. The Super Nigga has to stay locked in. Well, Neon Rising, they may be playing this better than I had hoped. Yeah, I knew that they were going to be, you know, exposed to grenades. I knew that was going to be the case for them, but again, TERRORSIX cannot commit. You know, the grenades are good, but TERRORSIX still can't commit, you know, to the push. But now the play zone has moved up closer, and it has blessed TERRORSIX even more. It's all their game now. It is all theirs now. Neon Rising have to do or die this. They have to turn this around some way, somehow. They have creeped inside. Pain now, down to 1. The sprays continue from more Steez. The grenades, they are still exposed to the grenades. Now would be the time, but more Chicks gets the first drop. And the Mo and the Pain down to just 1. It is going to be Venom. Can he sting? Grenade from the left-hand side for more Steez here. He's trying to bang it through to the corner, but it's not enough. He's going to try again, though. Ooh. He does launch another one. And now they have found their way in. King Tata. He has been spotted. Oh, that's a beautiful grenade from more Steez. Goes for the top, but he turned around. What? There's no way he didn't see this guy, dog. He didn't see that guy? Wow. That guy literally ran across. Wow, that's tunnel vision from Neon Rising, and he has hurt them. It hurt them a lot. Now, Captain, another grenade. Banshee goes out. Neon Rising back in full force, but as well, also trying to make something happen there, but Pain, Venom still being a nuisance there, still causing pain to Persecutors, to every single body. TERRORSIX as well, they're still 4. Now we're down to 7. Pain still have Venom out there, and the stakes are not that high for him anymore. He's still a thorn in the side for any of these teams, but he still could make the job done. Into the other side, he will pop through. When he spots the opposition, bounces the grenade just in the corner, but it's not enough. He will hang out outside though. Try to do the jump shot job, feints over to the right, takes the hit, and that will be the end of the road. But the grenade from Neon Rising will shut it down. Neon Rising rise to the occasion. Playboy, his prayers, will they be answered? No, they will not be. He's gonna be dropped away as well. 1 for 1. More Pain, tries again, switches lanes with the UMP, sprays to the left-hand side, tries to connect. It's the grand final. Neon Rising will take the chicken dinner finally. After all the denials, after all the trials and tribulations, 10 eliminations and a chicken dinner for Neon Rising. Found at the final moment. They made the right calls. They made the right adjustments in the final third. For Miramar, once again, they turn up. The chicken dinner is theirs, and theirs undeniably. Persecutors in second place with 3, Pain in third place with 4, TERRORSIX in fourth place with 2, OP SWAT in fifth place with 8, Ego in sixth place with 3, genz in seventh place with 4, V3 in eighth place with 4 as well, 305 in ninth place with 1, Cartel in 10th place, Dark nice in 11th, Ecstasy in 12th place with 1, and Tactical Team in 13th. Wow. Wow. Well. Ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of the show. Congratulations to Pain. I believe they did everything perfectly today. 3 chicken dinners in a row. Still, arguably, would I say it's the best performance in the COC Grand Final now? I mean, if they had won the last game, it would have been, but I think I've seen 3 chicken dinners in the COC Grand Final before. I think I have seen something like that. I think it was Ecstasy that did that, right? When it was 2011, a couple of seasons back. I think I have. But still, regardless, are we going to call this a cartel battle though? Because if we're being real, is that what this was? Did cartel battle this? Did they battle this? Because if we're being real, like let's have that conversation, but have that conversation on the social media. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the Clatter of Clans season 25, the grand finals. We've come to the end of the broadcast. Big shout out to Unsullied Army for bringing us yet another amazing season of Clatter of Clans action, and it is also big shout out to Dataup. Dataup, as you can see right there, is Dataup. As you can see right there, it's Wacky Tails. And I'm rocking the official Unsullied Army jersey. If you haven't picked up yours, head over to Unsullied Army and pick up your jersey. And yeah, enjoy. Quality, top quality. This is top quality stuff. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys for chilling with Priest. See you in season 26 of the Clatter of Clans. Until then, yeah, catch a vibe. And yeah. Oh, NPL is coming.